You have to learn how to respond, deal and dominate these things. If you want me to make a video about it, drop a comment below. Luca sees the power play and his response, wonderful.
You just came from Paris, eh? You know Paris?
He uses an intimidation tactic. He sits in Tommy's chair, his possession without Tommy's permission, and to top it all off, leans back. This action screams high status. Nonetheless, he does bite into Tommy's topic of choice.
You know Paris? I left Paris in a cattle truck.
The steeple gesture. This is a universal display of confidence and is often used by those who are in leadership positions. At the same time, he tilts his head sideways. This is a submission signal because it exposes the throat and neck and makes the person look smaller and less threatening. If you want to show that you are listening, this is a great way to do this. It is a powerful disarming behavior, extremely useful during a confrontation. Coupled with a smile, this one is one of the most effective ways to win others over. It shows interest, and females, by the way, tend to do this more than men. Its probable origin is in the baby resting his head on his parent's shoulder or chest.
They said you were French.
Breaking eye contact sideways.
They said you were French.
Well, I came here from Paris. That does not mean I'm French.
As confident as his vocal tonality is, he is still fidgeting, releasing internal tension. Now, the most likely explanation would be this. His sworn enemy is right in front of him. The enemy killed his brother and father, leaving Luca and his mother fend for themselves. It is totally understandable.
I came here from Paris. That does not mean I'm French. Guess where I'm from?
Leaning in, emphasizing his words here.
Guess where I'm from?
Notice the sharp sudden inhale of Tommy. He is getting stressed. The fight or flight kicks in and he needs to be oxygenated. To relieve the stress, he wants to smoke.
Well, in my cattle truck in Paris.
Tommy shows he has a gun, although I'm not sure whether Luca can see it from there. The very least is he can see this outline here.
Guess where I'm from?
Well, in my cattle truck in Paris. We were American soldiers. We played cards.
Charismatic people tend to answer questions in this manner a lot. They tell a quick story or something funny instead of directly answering a question.
They sound like you.
Yeah. Did you win?
Luca, instead of smoking, pulls out a toothpick. The tension is real in the room. Besides the pacifying behavior they both show, Luca is exposing his teeth with a smile. Done in this manner, it screams submission. Mind you, Tommy doesn't know that this is Luca CHANGRETTA yet. And Luca doesn't want to blow his cover. He's having too much fun right now. Do you notice how he's sending off incongruent signals up until this point in the scene? Dominance, confidence and submission all throughout.
Did you win?
You didn't come on a train. Your suit is pressed, your shoes are clean. Where'd you get your suits made?
As Tommy observes him, he is certain that he didn't come by train. What Luca does is remarkable.
I'm a tailor. New York City. Look.
Now he says he's from New York. Well, before he led Tommy to believe he was from France. He is revealing more and more about himself. Notice the more he reveals, the less of nervous fidgeting he portrays. He is slowly peeling off his mask. By opening his jacket like this, he shows Tommy, I do not carry a gun, while simultaneously making his point about his tailor.
Finacci. Italian. It's my uncle. He makes suits in the basement of Mad Street. He is my uncle. So every stitch, stitched with blood.
Stitched with blood. He is giving a great metaphor, meaning he keeps his business in the family. He only trusts his family, and their blood bond is stronger than the Shelbys. He insinuates knowing the family problems that the Shelbys have.
Italian. It's my uncle.
Also telling him now he is Italian. He is having fun playing this little game with Tommy, dropping hints here and there.
I heard you dress well, Mr. Shelby. But now I see. Not so well as me.
He is straight up mocking him now. Look at how he brings his head forward to check him out.
But now I see. Not so well as me.
Locking eye contact. This finger on the temple is done as a means to aid concentration. You see a lot of chess players do this mid-game. You could perhaps make a case that by touching this area more blood will flow to it and therefore more to the brain. I haven't read any articles on that, but perhaps something could be said for it.
You know, I have uncles as well. But they're not the...
First the scoff, then the furrowed eyebrows. Then the furrowed eyebrows. More tension in Tommy's facial muscles.
But they're not the sort of men who would work in a basement with a needle and thread.
Tommy insinuates, my uncles are way higher up the food chain than yours. They don't work at the basement.
Who would work in a basement with a needle and thread.
LUCA is fiddling with his toothpick. This could be a sign of impatience, but it isn't in this context. This is an important one, guys. It is a disrespectful form of preening behavior. Dismissive preening behavior. I mentioned this before. He is blatantly disrespecting Tommy and portraying, your words are not that important to me. You are not worthy of my attention. You see many forms of this, like picking lint or hair from clothes, or cleaning one's own nails when being talked to. This is inconsiderate at best, disrespectful, even contemptuous at the worst. Look at it again.
Who would work in a basement with a needle and thread? Mr. CHANGRETTA.
Up until this point, Tommy didn't have a clue how LUCA looked like.
Mr. CHANGRETTA.
But now that he mentions his name, after all the hints he's gotten, LUCA turns his head, smiles, and waves his hand in a mocking way. Amazing actor.
I am surprised how easy it was to get into a room with you.
By saying this, he is threatening Tommy. I can get to you and your family at any place at any time. Pure dominance he shows from here on out. The mask has dropped. CHANGRETTA has been in control since the beginning. All the fidgeting and nervous behavior has been an act, and this explains all the incongruency in his behavior.
I am surprised how easy it was to get into a room with you.
And now?
Very slow movements again. Friends, when you are exposing your palms, you show, I have nothing to hide. I am harmless, look at me. This is also why cops tell you to show your hands or put them up in the air. But LUCA here does this so mockingly, having a little fun, playing with Tommy. Notice how LUCA is sitting in a power position. Let's cover table seating power dynamics briefly here. Here you see many positions. If you had to choose, where would you put your money on where the power seat is here? The head of the table. This is where all the people's eyes are naturally drawn to. Right here.
proposing is a new election in the 2 states that weren't.
But what if we have a situation like this? Now there are 2 heads on the table. One on the left and one on the right. Where is the power seat now? And why? As abstract as this may seem, you have seen this on this channel without you being aware of it, like this scene in Law 6. Jessica is sitting here, and Harvey on the other side, signifying Jessica having the most power since the door where people walk through is on Harvey's side. Friends, remember this, the one closest to the door has the least power between the 2 heads of the table. Coming back to our scene, if you were Tommy and you wanted to take charge of the table power dynamics, you would sit directly opposed to him. Since Luca's back is against the door, he would have the inferior table head. This is just briefly covering it. If you wish me to cover this in depth, for example when you want to have a friendly conversation or perhaps a more competitive dynamic and how to deal with the other positions and even why to sit on each position, drop a comment below and I might make a video on that soon.